Hey guys, so today I'm going to be looking at people who are out of touch with reality. So yeah, let's just get right into the video. An American tourist I met, I live in South America. When I asked her how it felt to be so far from home, told me that she really isn't that far because these so-called foreign countries are actually located within the United States, and they just fly the plane in circles for hours and hours to convince you that you're in another country. She is honestly making my brain hurt. How do you think like that, you know? We learn about all of this in school and stuff. A guy at a party was talking about how great technology was. I agreed. He then proceeded to talk about how there are people made of computer chips walking among us and we don't know who they are. I took the opportunity to say, I know, you could be one of them, and walked away. I stared at him from across the room off and on the rest of the night. What? I know it would be crazy to say this back in the days, but nowadays there are lots of robots that talk and interact with humans. But like, they're not advanced yet where they could do everything on their own, you know what I mean? But what I'm saying is, it's not that crazy to think about anymore. Back then it was crazy, but now it's just like, oh, I guess one day it will happen. That's kind of weird though. A family friend's son has autism. I overheard my grandfather say, when's the kid gonna snap out of it and get a job? Maybe learn about it before you say anything. I am a waitress and someone wrote get a real job on the line for my tip. It was a $150 tab with an incredibly demanding table. I work another job and I go to school full time. But whatever floats your boat. What's a real job then? I mean, if you're getting paid, it's a job. You're getting paid for the job. Like seriously, what are they thinking? I'm assuming they think every waitress and every waiter doesn't have a real job. Okay, if that's what you think, then if they really do get a real job, who's gonna serve you? No one, because everyone is out there having a real job. They're obviously doing their job if they're serving you. My mum was absolutely certain that corn could only be harvested by hand. I showed her videos of corn harvesting machines and she insisted they were all CGI. It grew into a pretty significant argument. Eventually she called my sister, who is a librarian, to ask her. When my sister agreed with me, she said, okay then, and never spoke of it again. That's so annoying when you're right, but that person won't admit that you're right until someone else comes in and then they believe that person, but they didn't believe you. What is going on? I worked at a vet clinic and a woman came in with her dog who had a horrible skin problem stemming from a flea infestation. Before I could even say anything, she claimed someone was after her and had been stabbing her and her dog in their sleep with a tree bark. It took me a few seconds to process that one. She also told me that she knew we hadn't actually euthanized her old dog that she had years ago, but that we had sold her to Hollywood. Apparently she saw her in a commercial and that was her proof. The dog would have been like 20 by that point, so no, we didn't sell her to Hollywood. Honestly kind of sad, but the only person I have ever directly interacted with who was truly out of touch with reality. Oh, I kind of feel bad. My dad retired last November. After being out of work for a few months, he decided he needed a simple job to keep him busy. He applied at a Total Wine as a cashier and asked for $20 an hour because that's what he thought minimum wage was up to. I love how he's bargaining his own wage. Can you imagine going into a job and being like, how much do you pay me? $20 an hour? How about paying me $40 an hour? Someone seriously asked me, wow, how'd you get your baby so tan? My Native American wife holding the baby. I always avoid this person when I can. How can you be so dumb? I agree. What? Hold on a second. Have they like never seen other babies? Like, do they think everyone has one skin tone? I work with a girl living with her boyfriend. We also work in food service. She thinks she wants to marry him, but he has to spend at least $10,000 on a ring. And when she gets married, she wants one room in a house that is all pink, so she can get ready and put her makeup on. Then she's going to sit around the house all day in a pink fur-lined house coat. Then when her man comes home, they can do their thing. Wow, what a life. That's funny as. All I can think about is that's gonna be a lot of money. I honestly kind of love her imagination. She's just gonna sit around in the house in a pink fur coat. This is a dream. I work as a psychologist at a school. One student had missed nearly 30 days of school in one term, 55 days. So I was asked to investigate. The mother straight-faced told me she didn't want to drive the 2 minutes from their house because they had to cross a train track. And she thought having to wait for a train to pass was simply unacceptable. I thought she was joking. She was not. I'm so confused. She didn't drive her kid to school because she didn't want to cross the train track? How are you gonna go anywhere then, you know? What if that's the only path to go out? Does that mean they're just gonna stay home 24/7? My boss has some very weird one-liners. He's often not joking. Told me he was born in the same year as me, when he's a 60-year-old man, and I'm in my 20s. Nodding politely is 90% of my job at this point. When you can't even argue back because they're your boss, so you're just gonna be like, oh really? That's cool, you're the same age? Wow, that's amazing, nice. I was struggling to pay bills and a friend was like, don't worry, your mum and dad care about you. They'll pay them for you. I told her I wanted to be a self-sufficient adult and my parents didn't have the money to cover my bills anyway. Her mind was blown. Oh, and she's depending on her parents too much. Well, I mean, some people think like this because their parents do everything for them, you know? And I guess their parents don't really tell them how everything works. I've mentioned it here before, but twice this year, I've had a coworker threaten me for things that only occurred in his head. A few days ago, he got in my face because I asked how was your Christmas vacation? What? What do you mean? What? So in his head, if he saw you kissing his girlfriend, he's gonna be mad. Like he's imagining it himself and then he's like, oh, how dare you kiss my girlfriend in my imagination. I grew up in a rich town not being rich. I will never forget this one girl who saw me with my iPhone 3G in high school and I was super lucky to have it. And the iPhone 4 had come out the weekend before. She then asked me 100% seriously, why don't you have the new iPhone? She didn't really understand not everyone could afford the new iPhone every time one came out. Oh. How do you not understand that though? You know, it's so simple. Maybe they just think everyone's rich and everyone's parents are rich and everyone's parents would buy their kids things. I'm definitely worried. The economy is so bad my parents had to sell a vacation home. Well, you know, the second one we don't visit as often. Okay. Okay, bye-bye. One shift I was on register taking orders and this lady came up to me. She must have been in her mid to late 40s. She said, wow, McDonald's, you guys still exist? Haven't seen you around in years. Where has she been then? Where has she been? A very close friend. My money is my money, but my partner's money is also my money. To clarify, she wasn't going to accept her partner having access to her money, but only her to his. Also, she's single. Wait, she's not even in a relationship, but she made this rule already? Girl. A woman I work with once said, I'm convinced I'm immune to cancer because neither my mum nor my grandmother had it. Oh. Ooh. That would be great if that was the case. My 50-year-old brother asked me if I don't believe in God and what stops me from killing people. What? What do you mean what stops you? What do you mean what stops them? What do you mean? What's going on in your mind, brother? You know, if a baby is born underwater, it can live its whole life underwater. That's so funny. Oh wow, if a baby is born underwater, then now a mermaid. My mum, she once told my husband, a guy that's been working to help support his struggling parents since he was 13, that we should just have kids and God will provide for us. Her rationale was that she had 7 kids and never once struggled. What? How does she think that works? Like, is she saying you two should just stay at home and just sit there? And you know what? Money will come to your bank. For my friend, he was the stereotypical nice guy, always going off on how he couldn't understand how girls weren't flocking to him because he was so nice and intelligent. Eventually, he blocked all of us from his social media and stopped talking to us. But that was more because he couldn't understand that we wouldn't bend over backwards for his every whim. Why is he so desperate? I can't stand people like this, honestly. When they're being nice to get something, you know, like they're not being nice because they're genuine. They're being nice because they want something from you. And when you don't give it to them, they're like, wow, but I was so nice to you. How dare you not love me? My mom once said that the sun couldn't be a star because stars only come out at night. Alright, mom, alright. Honestly, just don't even argue with her. Just accept it and know that you know the truth. Well, that's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Tell me in the comments down below what your thoughts are. And as always, thanks for watching. Hope you guys liked it. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!